D12 Games is pleased to bring you Nerd or Not, the official podcast of D12 Games. Have I said D12 Games enough? D12Games.com.
I wonder if people next door can hear me. Yeah. Shit.
Perfect start.
Predictable start.
On that illustrious note, greetings everybody and welcome to episode 3 of Nerd or Not. It is, of course, the official podcast of D12 Games. That's D12Games.com. Your future source for all things board game, card game, dice game, ball game, fondling, Lone Ranger's Mother's game.
What kind of store are you running there?
I'm running a hell of a store. A miniatures, you name it, we're going to carry it. We are in progress. I am Jay. I am the owner of D12 Games. I am also one of the co-founders of Cretins Guild Studios, I guess, with my two best buds that are on the podcast right now. Bob, say hello.
Hello, I am Bob. I am pretty much, I guess, if you're the director, I'd be the producer of this fine venture we're on.
That's right. And, of course, with us always is Corey. Corey, say hi.
Hi, I'm the fluffer. Yeah. I know. And on non-fluff days, it's craft services. Why am I in this?
God, what a crappy job if you actually had to put that on a business card.
Fluffer, craft services. Don't ask about the special sauce.
No. Anything to get in the show business. I'm desperate. Please hire me.
Sour cream.
Mayonnaise.
See, here's the thing about actual sour cream. It would take a little bit of like social lubricant in order to make this happen, but I'd rather have the other stuff in my face than sour cream.
That's crazy.
Sour cream is disgusting.
Sour cream can't carry an STD, though.
Oh,
that's true.
This is our third episode. How do we make it this far?
Well, you fuckers had to go and start with Fran Drescher as an Autobot Zamboni or some shit last episode.
Hey, that was gold, and you know it.
It was gold. It was. It absolutely was. You fucking weirdos. It was wonderful, but
I don't actually remembering it happening. I'm just gonna have to take you to his word for it.
You just blacked out.
Yeah. Something could have been happening at that time. An episode, maybe. One where perhaps I imagine myself to be Fran Drescher as an Autobot. I don't know.
All right, so as always, I want to give you guys a quick update on how the store is coming. Store is coming along. We have all our paperwork now into the state of Michigan, which is where we are based. So we should be hearing back from the fine folks at Lansing soon. Of course, that presumes they're not preoccupied poisoning the fine people of Flint, but we will see. I'm assuming that the business office that issues licenses and all that fun shit doesn't actually interact directly with FEMA. I'm hoping, at least. I cannot guarantee that, of course.
What a shit job that Flint is in when Detroit can look at him and is like, oh, God, I'm glad we don't live there.
Yeah, exactly. Flint is a waste right now. It's terrible.
Sorry for me not being able to keep up. Flint is... No, you're on like the other side of the state, aren't you? You're closer to Lake Michigan.
I am 30 minutes away from beautiful, clean Lake Michigan.
Yeah, and Flint's like the anus of Detroit, just about, right?
Flint's about 30 miles northeast of Lansing, I believe, which is about 90 miles away from where I'm at right now.
Oh, okay. So I don't know anything about Michigan, basically.
No, you're on the right track. It's closer to Detroit than it is here, but happily
it's close enough to Detroit.
Yeah, there you go. Happily enough, I am proud to report that lovely Portage, Michigan has exactly 0.0 lead particulates in its water.
That's great.
So you're out of the fall zone area.
Yeah, I am out of the fall area, and our water is clean and delicious.
Because having just recently visited your illustrious burg, I was going to think that I'd have to like start purging here after reading those stories.
Well, I mean, if you want to, go for it, but
right
it's not necessary. So, of course, that is what's going on with the store. The store is coming along. We'll have further updates as the show progresses. But now we're going to move on to what we're watching, reading, doing, fondling. Again, man, I'm all about fondles tonight.
Yeah. Are you needing something?
Yes.
Salve.
Call me later.
Call up Shaq. Call up Goldbond. We need to get a party started.
So, Bob, what's got your interest peaked right now?
Well, it's kind of the opposite. I have officially given up on Gotham. I I know it's not the direction we want to be going with this topic, but it's the honest truth. I gave it so many tries. I watched the entire first season. I started the second season. I stockpiled a lot on the DVR, and I was watching, and I was like, I can't take this anymore, and I just literally deleted all the episodes off the DVR. I couldn't stomach another episode.
Pretty sure Bruce Wayne's about ready to give up on Gotham too. That might explain like why he goes over to wherever the fuck he goes to, and he meets up with Liam Neeson, does his training because of everything that came before was just sewage.
Alfred, fuck this place. I'm out.
I don't know where they're going with the show. I mean, they have the Joker, then they kill him off. Is it the Joker? I don't know. And freaking Jim Gordon doesn't have a mustache yet. I'm done.
That was...
Apparently, Gordon murdered someone. Like, somewhere this season. Like, he just, like, fucking cold-blooded murdered someone. So, yeah, I'm out. I'm completely out. I haven't watched since, like, the third episode.
It's so against the character, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Gordon is Batman that smokes and has a killer mustache, basically.
Oh, well, more or less, Gordon is Batman's conscience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know that Batman isn't really known for very extreme measures, unless, of course, you're reading Frank Miller, etc. But the killing and stuff isn't kind of normal, even like mortal injury, really. And Gordon is more or less kind of like the dude that pulls him back from the brink whenever stuff starts to get a little bit too hairy.
Yeah.
And with Gordon pulling the trigger on somebody, that kind of erases that undercurrent pretty much, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's been corrupted. He's been corrupted already.
Yes.
Well, he was corrupted in like the first or second episode.
Oh, well, the thing is that throughout most of the show, up until now, and I have to admit, I haven't watched the new season past 2 or 3 episodes because the Rise of the Villains thing was a little silly. Yeah. And which was funny because they totally cashed that shit out like in the 4th episode or something I've heard. But the idea was the conflict. I mean, if Gordon was acting as like Batman or Bruce Wayne's conscious, Donald Logue, Harvey Bullock, that's the guy. He was acting
which
as...
I think was the best cast part of that entire show.
Mm-hmm. He was the conflict for Gordon himself. He was the corruption that basically he was fighting the entire time. Yep. And, well, he was representative of it, of course, and the weaker element, Once he turned Bullock, then everything was starting to look all rosy. There was still the rest of the GCPD to deal with, and that was, one of the undercurrents. So, Gordon killed somebody. All right. Can't go much further down than that, can you?
Nope.
I mean, did they like try to hide it and, keep internal affairs out of it and such?
I have no idea. I didn't watch. I haven't watched since I think the 3rd episode of the season, like the same place you're at.
All right.
Just because it was when they killed off the kid that was Proto-Joker, I was like, well, you're the most interesting character on the show. I don't give a shit anymore.
Actually, that was one of the things I thought was pretty interesting, at least about the show in total. But then once I realized it, like, well, that guy is officially dead now, so there's no real pursuit of that afterwards. Mm-hmm. There's only 2 directions that could go, and then that's A, creating a cult of the Joker, like Frank Miller did, or B, somebody new takes up the mantle, but he's not as good as the first dude. Yeah. And I know these are only skin-deep assessments, but that's what I've got out of it so far. And I stopped watching it as well. I was like, couldn't do it. Especially when it started getting a little bit wise-eyed shut there.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, when they started working in the awkwardness of Bruce Wayne growing up and trying to have relationship with a female his own age, and it got to the point where I was so uncomfortable watching this, I was turning the channel to some kid show so my kids could stop yelling at me.
Relationship? You mean with like the equal age Selena Kyle?
It wasn't, the character was not Selena Kyle. It was if you only made it like 3 episodes in, she was like several episodes later.
She was wasn't she like the niece of
the guy running for mayor?
Yeah.
If she was the niece. Ooh, mystery. I don't care.
Somebody was running for mayor. Yeah, I'm the last person you want to be getting a judgment on the show out of.
It was some girl actress who was trying her best to be Hayden Panettiere.
That one girl from Heroes. No, not Allie Larder.
All right. Pronounce Allie Larder like, the one that was the least likable in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That
Skeevy Stoner was right.
Girls do fart. That was a hell of a fart scene, though.
It really was.
It was epic.
She had good fart face. I'll give her that much.
Yeah, it was. See.
I live to have fart faces like that.
That's the one. People downplay fart jokes because it's always the lowest common denominator. They're going to react to them first and the most immediately. A fart joke doesn't need to be dismissed out of hand by people that aren't watching a movie for that. It's how you sell the fart joke. that makes it. That makes it available to the rest of the audience. So a fart noise, whatever. Okay. Children are going to laugh, probably some middle schoolers, and maybe your brother-in-law.
It's not the impersonation, it's the act.
Yeah. You accompany it with something else. The situation, maybe you're farting on one of the spires of the Brooklyn Bridge, and then a seagull hears it and laughs. I don't know. Allie Larder making that face to a fart, that was a pretty good square one.
I'll give you that.
This masterclass in fart jokes brought to you by D12 Games.
D12
in between this and the testicles, you don't want to be downwind of D12 Games, but by howdy, we have the inventory.
D12.
Fart us on the Twitter at D12 Games.
D12 Games. We got gas. All right, so Bob is taking a dump on Gotham. Corey, what are you watching, playing, or doing?
Nothing too new. I mean, I was watching Better Call Saul, but we can get back to that later.
Sure.
I started doing some older games recently and trying to, in a Coyote-esque bid to try to vanquish my backlog. I started playing Epic Mickey on the Wii.
Nice.
Oh.
I don't want to go too much into it because pretty good story behind this thing. A lot of it's tied to primordial Disney lore, but I don't want to talk about that too much because story is all this game has. So I'll talk about what it doesn't have. Solid design, and I believe that Jay, you and I talked about this before when reviewers were like ripping this thing a new hole for having a crappy camera,
Sure.
And we were like, yeah, we grew up during the age of the N64. This matters not. It seriously fucking does. It's bad for the 5th gen cameras,
Really?
and sometimes it seems like the camera goes out of its way just to piss you off. It's amazing, and kind of an experience that needs to be it doesn't need to be shared. That'd be really shitty of me. The chief mechanic in this, and it's been talked about a lot, so I'm just going to gloss over it. You can paint in stuff. You can thin stuff out of the environment. These are shoehorned into very specific areas of the environment, which more or less just turns into paint in a platform puzzles, so there's no real consequences here. And in any of the, a lot was talked about with the moral choices that you can make in the game, but they are very thin, not to be punny. Okay, just accept it, it's a pun, never mind. They are binary as hell. You do this one thing, ooh, bad. You do this other thing, ooh, good. The choices are they're very immediate. Like, if you're being tempted with a reward immediately, then that's probably not the one you're going to go with. Some of them, however, don't really lay the outcomes out for you because they don't tell you what you're doing to begin with. And then you go ahead and say, all right, well, I think this is going to be the right or the wrong thing to do. And it ends up being completely the opposite. It's either you're being told that you're an asshole from the get-go, or you're about to walk headlong into a stretch of sidewalk that's actually wet cement, and you don't know. So,
Gosh, Mickey, you're being a real prick today.
oh yeah.
Donald Duck sounds, because I can't make them.
Yeah.
How about you shut the fuck up, you mute bastard? You can't articulate anything. You're barely human. I don't have to deal with you. Step B. Donald's a dick. I bought your orange juice company, bitch, and I tanked it.
Oh, that's my favorite drive to Disney was going past the Donald Duck Orange Juice Company.
Yeah, through what was it, Lake Alfred? I think it was.
Something like that.
Through
Somewhere
Lake
up
Alfred?
27.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what I put in that water tower?
Jizz.
Yeah.
He sounded so sad.
Predictable, I guess.
Like you ruined his day by guessing correctly.
My corporate anarchy days are behind me. Well, fuck all y'all. I'm going home to masturbate for fun. Anyway.
With 3-finger gloves?
All right. So anyway, to wrap up the whole Epic Mickey thing, why am I playing it? Okay. Well, the world that they have constructed for this game is engaging as hell. And you might have seen like advanced solicitation shots of it before in Game Informer, when magazines were still a thing. They depict a world that's like absolutely awash in color, but sublimated by all this destruction and waste. And they were fantastic and very striking images. The story does not ride off of that. It is every bit as just maudlin and disappointing as those images would imply. And it is such a great story too. Especially if you're like, I'm not like a hardcore fan of Disney, even though I spend enough time over there. But the more you know about Disney's past and Disney's relationship with Universal and UbiWorks and all those forgotten characters, the more it's going to sock you in the gut. And it does this over and over again. But the idea that like Mickey's on this quest for redemption in some sort of like a ruined depiction of someone's imagination. It's just, it grabs you by the collar and doesn't let you look away. It's so great. It's just that the game part of it is shallow as hell and almost not worth going through. I think it would have made a hell of a movie, but the game's what we got, so I'm going to keep powering through until it finishes. So that's Epic Mickey.
Cool. And someone got a text.
I did. Let me get that out of here. Goodbye.
So my current thing that I'm doing, and this is going to be a year-long quest for me, and Corey actually got to take part in this when he came up for a visit. Mm-hmm. I'm doing a 1 year consecutive daily challenge of geocaching. And for those of you that don't know what geocaching is, it is basically a worldwide treasure hunt fueled by GPS, and you find hidden boxes all over the world, and you write your name on a piece of paper, and that's it.
It's a scavenger hunt.
Kind of like
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt, but on a real-world topographical scale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a puzzle, and it's challenging, and it's fun.
I know.
And it gets me out of the house every day, which I love. And it's a lot of fun.
It gets you out of the house, and it gets you to like discovering more about the place that you live in than you would have if you weren't if this wasn't an undertaking. Of course, I mean, because we're being what we are, we're just kind of homebodies, and for the most part, a day off is a day in front of the console, and this will guarantee that like you discover a new part of the place that you inhabit, but don't quite know as well as you could.
How long are these excursions?
Yeah. Excursions go anywhere. So like for a few days, it was like 3 degrees outside. So my excursions...
I can't even imagine that.
Oh, no.
My excursions were about 10 minutes, and most of that was in my car. It was in my car, get to where it is, run to where the cache is, grab it, bring it back to the car to sign the log.
Trying to beat the frozen booger threshold.
Exactly. But, I mean, on average, they're about an hour. I mean, there's some that are more difficult. Like, there's some that are... I mean, it goes on a 5-point sliding scale of difficulty and the terrain rating.
The one that we did at Asylum Lake was pretty lengthy.
That one was pretty long. Yeah, that was I think a 3-3. It was a 3 for difficulty or 3 for terrain, which it was a long hike to where the cache was. Mm-hmm. It was through the woods, so we actually had to like go off of the beaten path. And
it was not only through the woods, but it was also over the river
and through the haunted woods of the asylum. But it's really, really fucking fun, and I love being able to get out of the house every day, and it's something for me and my wife and our son to do together. We all have something different that we take to it, or take away from it, and that we get out of it. And it's really exciting. We're 48 days in, no sign of slowing down, and we're trying to get to 366 days since it's leap year. So,
has any geocache anarchist like stuffed a dried or fossilized turd into any of the capsules yet?
None that I have found.
All right. Do you not want that idea to be out there?
That's fine. I don't care.
Right. I'm not going to be doing it. I'm not that kind of a dick.
But it's neat because it's not only do you find these things, but bigger ones actually have prizes in them. So if you go and you find one, you can swap something that you have for something in the cache. Some of them, there are things called trackables. Like I did a trackable that is a super mutant vinyl toy. From Fallout.
Where is he now?
He's in Los Angeles.
Holy shit! He made his way out to the West.
He's in the West Coast. Yeah, he's in the fucking. He's getting ready to go to the Mojave.
No, wait, no. He's actually at the hub, isn't he? That's technically the hub in the Fallout universe.
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's so fucking slick.
Yeah.
Nice.
He has stalled out. He hasn't moved much in the last month. But the fact
that's a hell of a trek.
The fact that he went from fucking Apopka to Los Angeles
mild culture shock
in 5 months is astounding to me. Just hitchhiking on someone's backpack, basically. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
Farther than Hitchbot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's what I've been doing. That's my thing is geocaching. It's my obsession. It's my favorite thing to do. I plan out the next day, the day before. On Saturday, we're going up to Grand Rapids because they have a Trader Joe's.
Oh, and well.
I want some Trader Joe's fucking peanut butter cups.
Okay, we're worthy of a trip.
I think you've earned it.
And we're going to do probably 6 or 7 up there because GR is a big town for geocaching. So that's what we're doing, and now we're going to kind of slide into our topics of discussion before we get to the Nerd or Not trivia section of the podcast. And there is currently a unsubstantiated rumor going about that our favorite doctor, Peter Capaldi, will be leaving the show when Moffat leaves the show as well. This fills us with sadness because if true, that fucking sucks because Capaldi's great. But
I'm depressed at the possibility of this. Because I wanted Capaldi. I said it last time. I want Capaldi to play the Doctor forever.
Oh, I'd be ecstatic. He can play the Doctor as long as he wants to, and there would be no complaints from me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But as we all know, eventually the Doctor has to go. And while I hope it's not going to happen now, with the current expanding status of both the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Cinematic Universe, we're nerds. So we're going to fantasy cast who could Peter Capaldi play in either of those universes. So Corey said when we were doing show prep, Corey said that he had one for DC that I would pick a mile away, and I got fucking nothing.
Although
really? I think I have an idea now that I've been thinking about it, just because
See, there
he has a very striking face. And the eyebrows kind of fit.
Yep.
But I want you to say who it is, and I want to see if I'm right.
It's Max Mercury.
Yes, it is
It's
Max
fucking
Mercury.
Max Mercury, of course. And I know. Max Mercury grew up in Alabama. And he's traveled pretty much like the entire continent, but there's a whole lot of unstoried history about Max. Capaldi's nationality could tie seamlessly into, I don't know, with enough creative writing.
Sure.
But it was mostly that, Capaldi's got the sardonic sort of an attitude for it that Max did. Max was stern, but he also had this streak of kind of antagonistic humor about him. Whenever most of what we're talking about here is Max's interactions with Impulse. I don't really know how he worked with Wally a whole lot, so I'd be in the dark about that. But
Pretty similar.
The attitude, the look. I mean, he's got the silver hair. Well, that's kind of built in anyway. And his age would all fit perfectly into the character, as far as I'm concerned. The only thing you'd have to deal with is the possible problem. Here's some unseen air quotes for you, Bob, right there, of his Scottish accent.
For a podcast.
Yeah, and I've seen him like chameleon into other accents too. So I don't even think that would be that much of a problem.
I would love to see him play a Max Mercury type character. I think that would be awesome. I don't think it'll ever fucking happen. But,
no. Well, the funny thing is that he's taken this year off, right?
Yeah.
And there was another.
There's a reason behind that.
Oh, go ahead.
One of the reasons he's taken the year off is obviously because of the show lead is being reworked. So they want to see how to continue after the Christmas episode. He had the same knee surgery that Matt Smith had at the end of his run of Doctor Who.
Do these guys just not jog a whole lot? Or?
No, they do a lot of running on sets.
Well, on set, yeah.
Yeah, and just...
But no conditioning.
I can't tell you that. I mean, I'd figure Matt Smith is pretty young. He would have a decent set of knees, but as soon as he was done with Doctor Who, he had a knee surgery done, and it's the same exact one that Capaldi just had done.
Oh, shit. Okay. Being the Doctor comes with its own hazards, other than dying repeatedly, of course. He's taken a year off, right? Knee surgery having something to do with it. Also, the changeover of showrunner. Here's something I noticed on this season. There's actually a Doctor Who alumni that works on The Flash. And I'm not talking about like the obvious ones like River Song and Harkness. Yeah, I'm sorry. Rachel Talalay, who used to direct a lot of Davies episodes and a couple of episodes out of the last season, directed some episodes of The Flash.
Really?
Uh-huh. She's not a British... Well, she works in Britain. She's actually an American director. She directed fucking Tank Girl.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now that I'm saying that, I'm like, wait a minute, was it Talalay? Because for the longest time, I thought Amy Heckerling directed Johnny Dangerous. Somebody's gonna fucking check that. It's cool. Go ahead and do that. But I think that as a talent pool thoroughfare, I don't know. Maybe we could. But as far as we know, no, there's not even a Max Mercury rumored for the Flash TV series anyway.
No, there's not, unfortunately.
Because if there was, I wouldn't shut up about it. for weeks.
I actually had two for DC. The first one is just because it's from my favorite comic of all time, and I would love to see him involved. Mm-hmm. I had him as Ted Knight from Starman, as
nice,
the Golden Age Starman, and I was like, that's pretty good. And now I've completely forgotten what the second one was. Holy shit!
You could play a lot of dudes in the JSA. To be fair.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Because he's the right age.
Yeah, that's very
being
very,
old
very
and all,
Oh, there it is. As for the second one, my second idea was for him to play a villain on The Flash, and specifically an Earth 2 villain, because I think in Earth 1 it wouldn't work, but since Earth 2 is so fucking gorgeous on that show, the Fiddler.
I don't know who that is, but I'm just going to go ahead and enthusiastically nod.
Yeah, he's an old man in a green suit with a ribbon tie that plays the fiddle that controls people's minds. He's basically proto Pied Piper.
Well, I'm looking this motherfucker up. Because that sounds like a can't miss sort of costume. Which is, by the way...
it's magical. It's absolutely fucking magical, yeah.
The Fiddler?
Bob, you are definitely more of a Marvel guy.
Yes.
Who is your pick for who Capaldi could play?
My pick for Capaldi is somebody who's not a lead character. You rarely ever see him.
Okay.
But he kind of fits if you think about it. This character has extremely high levels of intelligence, is originally from Manchester, England. I know he's Scottish, Capaldi, but, we're close.
Motherfucker's got range. It's cool.
Thankfully, he's also an actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
he could do it when he's not cussing. Then it just leaks out. Sometimes he plays not necessarily a hero, but sometimes he's played a villain. He has super high intelligence, which inflicts on his sanity sometimes. The high evolutionary.
I would.
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah. No. Done. Sure.
I would see that because that is a wacky ass idea, and I'm pretty sure he'd be keen on doing a wacky ass role like that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the story itself was bonkers to begin with. He tried to turn humans into animals or something.
Yeah, he made hybrids, and then he acted as a father figure to a number of characters. One being Adam Warlock, and then Quicksilver, and then a couple other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's the Knights of Wundagore guy, right?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, because that was in the Quicksilver comic. I'm the only guy who read it, but in the Quicksilver solo comic, he was heavily involved with this talking cow lady that was the nursemaid to his daughter, because Marvel's bizarre. But
there was a Quicksilver comic, huh?
It was really good too, man. Chris Cross did the art. It was great.
Well, I should have read it. Darn it. Oh well, too little, too late. This was the guy that was purple, pretty much from head to toe, right?
Yeah, he kind of wore a suit, a full body suit. So he wore a mask. Well, I'm not sure, because I think I remember seeing the mouth boot, so I'm not sure if it's a mask or if it's just something, or if it's his face that's been altered over time. It's hard to tell. His history goes way back, with Fantastic Four and Galactus back.
Oh wow,
really? The most that I've seen of High Evolutionary was during the Jim Lee and
his first appearance was the Mighty Thor number 134, November 1966.
Holy shit! I didn't know that guy had been around that long. That's awesome.
I didn't know there was so much to read up on about the High Evolutionary.
I'm always a fan of a character with a head fin that's unnecessary. So that guy's A-okay. Like him and Adam Strange, I'm on board with.
I was a big fan of Adam Warlock, so I read a lot of just individual books for him.
Sure.
Well, and he popped up every once in a while as the guy who trained him to be Adam Warlock, I guess.
That was great because of the most of the Infinity Gauntlet stuff tied into the Jim Starlin Marvel Cosmos. So you have genuine hipster claims to being into Guardians before everyone else was in the Guardians.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
There was stuff, I remember when that shit's first dropped and I was trying to talk to Bobby. I was like, oh yeah, these guys are great. But I was like, yeah, I know all about them. I've been reading these guys for years. I'm like, oh, well, fuck, okay.
All right, well, I'm just going to go over here and have my coffee.
All right, fine, buddy. My pick for him with Marvel was to play someone else in the kind of the Marvel cosmos. It was Mentor, Thanos' dad.
Okay.
Which I would just love to tell him, "Fuckity bye, Thanos." Just
for like just a quick minute or quick second, I thought you said mentor, and the first thing that popped into my head was mentor. Wait, no,
the mind melter.
The mind melter.
Earlier this week, I started watching In the Loop.
Oh, wait, the movie, right? That's the movie version.
Yeah, the movie. I started watching that, and I was thinking, if he was to portray that character, I would love to see him as Ego, the Living Planet. Oh, you're just gonna fly on by in your little spaceship? You're fuckity bye!
Thanks for dumping all this toxic waste into my mouth.
Shit.
Yeah, but if he played Ego the Living Planet, it would just be volcanoes all over the place.
Volcanoes and eyebrows.
Bob accents. We got one.
Oh, shit. I only sent that to Corey. I meant to send them to both of you.
I'm sorry. I know that like stuff pops up in text and I shouldn't read it, but that's...
No, I meant that to go to both of you. I'm so happy that we got the Bob accent on the podcast. It makes me just thrilled.
Do we introduce this like properly, or we just kind of let it grow into its own thing?
No. That's going to grow into its own star.
Right,
Eventually, it'll have its own segment, and the Bob accent will take over the world. But
it's a superhero power that sucks. Like Kick-Ass.
No, you're part of what was the team of X-Men that had they had like less than conventional superpowers, but nonetheless very useful. I think like Maggot and Marrow was on one team.
Oh, that was that was after the Blue and Gold Squad. That was when they decided that didn't work anymore, so they decided
the Plaid Squad.
Sure, yeah, Plaid. We can go with Plaid.
They had Jubilee.
To be fair,
I like
Jubilee's
Jubilee.
been around for a long time.
I rag on Jubilee a little too much, but I saw her as a '90s version of Dazzler.
She pretty much
Dazzler
was, but
too.
I like Dazzler too. It's tough
I'm just going to shut up.
It's tough to apologize for. Yes, we're going to put you on the anti-Dazzler, anti-Jubilee funeral pyre, and there you will atone for your sins. It's not that they had really lame powers. It was that Jubilee was 90s as hell. I don't know. It's kind of tough to make apologies for that in retrospect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Dazzler's at least 2 decades removed from that for the most part, and even in like recent appearances, she still like rocks the Cosmos collar and the roller skates and shit.
She's actually hardcore goth now.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What? No.
She got Bendist.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh, Bendis. Why?
Yeah, we'll do an entire segment on why Brian Michael Bendis sucks later, but
at least she didn't get Ellis.
True.
Which would have been a mean-spirited retcon.
And there's just 2 other things I wanted to bring up going back to Doctor Who. First off, you guys have heard that Peter Jackson is going to direct a future episode?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you see the short film that they made about that?
I did.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for bated breath with that. And do you know we almost had an episode of Doctor Who with Tom Hanks on it?
What?
Yeah. Peter Capaldi was at some kind of luncheon or event or something, and Tom Hanks was in the same room, and they like waved at each other from safe distances. And then he went over there and he said, "Hey Tom, would you like to be?" Why I made him Australian, I don't know. He asked Tom to be on Doctor Who, and he said, "I want to, but my schedule's really busy."
It feels like I'm drunk, but I'm not.
I'm going to put my phone on silent because somebody keeps saying Bob accent. Yeah.
Oh god.
Make it a drinking game.
We could. We totally could. I'll design the bingo cards. Okay, we'll do that.
Oh shit.
Sorry, just recovery period now from the Bob accent. Okay.
I would fucking punch nuns to have Tom Hanks on Doctor Who. I think that'd be incredible.
Well, obviously he'd have to play a baddie, or could he? I would actually, yes. I would love to see Tom Hanks play a baddie on Doctor Who.
That'd be great. Okay, here's what you do. Perfect world scenario.
All right, what do you do?
You have Tom Hanks, and just ride with me on this one, boys, because I swear I'm going somewhere with it.
You're starting with Tom Hanks being on Doctor Who. There's
I'm on that bus.
disbelief has been suspended. Yes.
Season starts off with you hear Capaldi, "Hey, wake up!" Just smacking the shit out of someone, and eyes open, and it's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is the new companion for the Doctor. Okay, so hold on. We're going somewhere with this.
Okay.
So Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. He's basically playing himself the entire time. Everyone loves him. The world loves Tom Hanks. Everyone loves him. The last episode of the season, Tom Hanks is the fucking master. And then you go into a special. It is the sign-off. It is the write-off for Peter Capaldi, where it is Tom Hanks as the master versus Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor. And shit happens. I don't know. Fuck it.
Did you just say Tom Hanks is the master and he kills Capaldi's Doctor?
Sure. And we get a regen in the middle of this special into whoever the new Doctor is. Maybe it's his co-star from Bosom Buddies or some shit. I don't know.
Peter Scolari.
Yeah, it's Peter Scolari.
We're dropping Peter Scolari.
Yeah.
What other heights can we hit in this episode?
Oh my god.
So and that's how it works. Peter Capaldi is killed by Tom Hanks, and then the regeneration happens into Peter Scolari.
Oh, jeez.
And this is why I don't work in TV.
Well, no,
because you would be awesome.
The meta narrative is kind of like classic Doctor Who stuff, though, right? I mean, at least in the comics, like they had the one where 10 and 11 meet, or no, what happens? 11 goes to our universe in a separate dimension, and then goes to a comic book convention. Or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I don't read a whole lot of the comics.
The craziest comic I ever read was a Doctor Who Star Trek spin-off.
What? Oh!
Yeah, where the 11th Doctor goes on the Next Generation Enterprise.
That actually happened.
Where the Borg and the Cybermen have teamed up.
That's a really, really bizarre concept.
That couldn't have, kind of obvious when you consider like the themes between the Cybermen and the Borg, but they wouldn't work it all that well together, would they?
Oh no, they start as soon as they joined up, they start fighting each other.
Oh, well, there you go. At least it evolved naturally, and then like everybody on the Enterprise just kind of kicked back and I'm guessing this was 11. This happened when 11 was.
Yeah, it was 11 in the
going
ponds.
On. All right, so everybody on the Enterprise kicked back. The Doctor flails his arms around a lot, and Amy and Rory are just basically not interesting.
Riker hits on Amy a little bit.
Oh, ew. And then Data does. Ew.
Data hit on Rory.
Right. That would probably. Yeah. It could happen. He's a robot. He has no bearings. I don't know.
He's got ball bearings. I love Star Trek humor.
Anyway, where the fuck were we going?
We're going into coming attractions. Bob, let's talk about since February's at the ass end of it. Let's talk March, April, May for coming attractions, and we'll give our recommendations. See it, Netflix it. Don't fucking step foot in the theater on this hunk of shit.
Well, there were two movies I wanted to. I know exactly what you're going to say when I ask these two movies that are coming out in February.
Okay, bring it
on. The first one being Gods of Egypt.
You mean pretty white people with problems in Egypt?
Notice that too, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It should be called CGI of Egypt.
I like that the most ethnic-looking person in Gods of Egypt is Gerard fucking Butler.
I will rule you.
Oh, they got away with it in 300. Yes, but that doesn't make it.
That doesn't make it okay.
That doesn't make it a wise decision. Exactly. By the way, there are a whole lot of people that didn't buy 300. Okay, I know a couple of them.
That is a hard pass for me. All right, what's number 2, Bob? What's your second pick for February?
The other one is. Did you guys know there's a sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon coming out?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Funny, IDBM says theaters February 26th.
Yep, it's out right now, and it's not directed by Ang Lee. I'm going to see it.
Okay, Bob, what's going on in March? What's coming out then?
All right, we got a couple of good things. First off, London Has Fallen.
Starring the aforementioned ethnic superstar Gerard Butler.
God.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, Angela Bassett.
It's already got 2 up on Gods of Egypt, though, doesn't it?
That's very true.
And about a couple $1 million less of CGI.
Man.
So I'm going to want you to go see London Has Fallen. And if you don't see London Has Fallen, then go see Gods of Egypt, because Gerard Butler needs the fucking money. So, yeah, no, I'm probably going to Netflix that one.
Yeah, me too.
It looks interesting.
But what's the idea of it? I've not heard of that one.
President goes to London. Gerard Butler protects him. Shit goes crazy. Terrorists want to kill the president. Yeah.
I'll read what it says. In London for the Prime Minister's funeral, Mike Banning discovers a plot to assassinate all the attending world leaders.
Wants to assassinate all the attending world leaders.
In a world.
I've got my dick stuck in a Coke can.
Holy shit, so do I.
Don't ask. Don't ask. It was downtime, okay? I got curious. And in a world where curiosity reigns supreme, I'm fucking a Coke can. Anyway. Pray tell, continue.
Okay. Also in March, we have, I'm going to see this, Zootopia.
Yeah.
Zootopia looks awesome. Even if I wasn't a dad, I would be going to see that.
The first trailer that came out with the sloth, I never had such a hard belly laugh. Like, I think I memorized a minute 42 where he's telling the joke, and then you could just see his eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was laughing harder every time.
Disney feature is doing no wrong with me right now. Like, ever since fucking Tangled.
Did that re-kick off their animation domination?
I think so. I mean, say what you will about Frozen being overplayed to hell. Still a good movie.
Well, we could use Chicken Little as the barometer here, because that movie wasn't good at all. But it was kind of like one of their earlier forays into... Yeah, yes. That was actually non-Pixar Disney. That was when Eisner was still sitting in the big chair, and Pixar was like, look, we're going to go elsewhere if things don't ease up. And Eisner was like, okay, well, we can do your shit as well as you can. And then
that's when Mommy and Daddy were fighting.
Yeah, that's when Mommy and Daddy were fighting. And then, I guess Mommy got shit.
And Chicken Little was the bastard that was born out of that.
Yeah. The sky fell, Chicken Little. Sorry. I haven't seen Tangled yet, and I should have, because it's the Gallivant people that did that movie, and I have no excuse.
Yeah, I can recommend that one. You need to see it.
Tangled is my favorite Disney film. Like, it is. I've seen that movie more often than I probably should have, since it's a fucking princess flick. But it's my favorite. I like it more than Lilo and Stitch, more than Beauty and the Beast, more than Robin Hood. It is my absolute favorite.
You pretty much broke the red ribbon with Lilo and Stitch. Like, damn, really?
Yep.
Wow. All right.
You have Mandy Moore, who is adorable, awesome, and can sing, as the female lead, and Zach Levi as the male lead. It's fucking great. It's perfect. It's wonderful.
It's actually funny.
Yeah. Right. And Ron Perlman's in it, and Raymond's brother from Everyone Loves Raymond.
Oh, Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett's in it.
Otherwise known as Cartoon Lobo. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he plays a piano, and he has a hook hand. It's great. It's wonderful.
All right. Well, for the sake of homework, streaming anywhere? Availability?
Not sure.
Tangled? No.
Probably not.
Because a lot of Disney shit's available on Hulu. And I know some of the more obscure ones are on Netflix at the moment. Like Treasure Planet is on Netflix. And boy, did that movie get unfairly written under.
God, I love Treasure Planet.
But I was expecting it to be because a lot of stuff at that time in Disney, they were trying to move away from musicals, which I can see, because you don't want to be... Well, they spent a decade and a half pigeonholing them into that category. But they were doing things like Tarzan and Atlantis, which were both non-musicals. And aside from their technological innovations, they didn't do a whole lot for me at all. Nope. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I was kind of ginned up at the moment and looking at Netflix, and there was nothing to find because for some reason it was going through one of those weird non-wire periods. And that's usually the bitter pill I swallow when I'm looking for something to, negative to watch while drunk. And I saw Treasure Planet there, and I'm like, I feel like being miserable. Let's watch. Oh, this is so good. This is really good. Oh, what the fuck, people? This is awesome. What the hell? What's next, Bob?
Let's see. March 25th, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
No, I'm in. I'm not gonna joke. I can't even lie about it. I'm interested. I think Affleck looks great as Bruce Wayne and Batman. The last trailer that actually showed him in combat, is fucking amazing.
That was pretty good. Virtual camera choreography, really fucking good.
Yeah, him throwing the fucking choke slam on the guy, and I think there's a German suplex or some shit in there. Just
he does this one hit where he hits the guy in the back of the head, and he goes face first into the floor. It looks like he killed him with that kind of impact.
At least he's hurting bad. Affleck has gone on the record several times as saying Bruce doesn't kill, Batman does not kill. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't kill the dude. He might hurt him real fucking bad. But
this draws a lot from The Dark Knight Returns, so not just in terms of visual inspiration, but also how Batman's fighting style might manifest.
See, it doesn't feel like Dark Knight Returns to me. You know what?
Well, not the movie total, not the movie as a whole, just the way they've depicted the Batman side of the Bruce Wayne Batman dichotomy in there.
Oh, okay.
Because that Batman was a hard hitter. Miller made him look beefy so that he would, looked like a slab of rocks just coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Now, question: is this the issue where Bruce Wayne is like really old and gray?
Yeah,
but he's got like this big, what almost looks like a mech suit.
That happens at some point. For the most part, he spends it looking like all sorts of blown out and grisly and geriatric. Yeah,
because the suit he's wearing in the trailer I saw looks a lot like that particular comic. Looked like it jumped off the page.
Yeah, it's inspired by the mechanical suit that he wears in The Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. But from the majority of the movie, he's going to be wearing the classic gray and black suit,
right?
Which I think looks fucking great. Mm-hmm. Better than the Cable Superman suit, at least.
Yeah. Do they ever show? Do they have him doing a whole lot of hand to hand outside of the armored suit yet?
Yeah, the start of the trailer I'm talking about is all out of the armored suit, and it looks like combat from the fucking Arkham game.
That's exactly what I was thinking. We haven't seen Batman move like this before.
It's smooth. He's fucking dodging left and right. It's gorgeous. Like, it is just absolutely perfect.
I saw at one part, I guess the back of his cowl is bulletproof or something, because one bad guy comes up with a knife and chips it across the back of his neck, but you see sparks fly, I guess indicating that even the suit is impenetrable with knife blades.
Yeah. And he actually makes a comment about that in the trailer. So I'm not as fast as I used to be, Alfred. And it's because he's looking at the mask that's got a puncture in it now. It's a good goddamn trailer. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I know Man of Steel didn't do it for a lot of people, and Man of Steel's weakest point wasn't the way it was shot or the way it was performed. It was the story. And I think bringing Chris Terrio in to rewrite the original script,
the Argo dudes, right?
Yeah, Chris Terrio is the guy that did Argo, and he's basically Affleck's personal scriptwriter now.
Yeah,
he redid all of Dawn of Justice. I'm cautiously optimistic that this is going to be a huge fucking movie.
The idea that the Argo people are on it is pretty much the only thing that's like drawing me to it right now. Mm-hmm. There's something about Zack Snyder's stuff that doesn't really sit well with me a whole lot of the time.
Sure.
I feel like I'm being talked down to for the most part, but that's more or less based off interpretation. I swear I'm not offering token apologies for it. Apparently, his movies do pretty well, but I haven't gravitated to a single fucking one of them, and that includes the zombie movie that he did. Having said that, I believe that there's a kind of a rule or a condition with movies that no matter how I might not take to a person's direction, if the script is good enough, it will hold the entire structure up. Mm-hmm. Like imagine like an oil rig, very just busy, so much going on, very black because it's an oil rig and it's gritty. You can put that on top of like a very buoyant material, and if that material is supportive enough, then the oil rig stands. The rest of it can be a fucking mess as much as it needs to be. Man, this metaphor sucks, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so the Argo dude. The other reason is because I'm very interested to see how they depict Wonder Woman, mm-hmm. and I am really fucking interested in the Wonder Woman movie because they got Patty Jenkins attached to it, which was something that Marvel was trying to do with Thor and wasn't able to accomplish.
All right, what do we got next, Bob?
In April, we have The Jungle Book, live action, directed by Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
That's Bill Murray as Baloo, right?
Yes, and Christopher Walken is a voice.
Of who?
I think Chris Walken's playing King Louis, isn't he?
I want to say yes.
Yes!
You didn't know this? Oh my god.
This is what leading a virtuous life has led up to. Like if I could pick the one Disney animated character for Christopher Walken to voice. My god.
Alright, Ben Kingsley's playing Bagheera.
See, I would have expected Kingsley because it's the Jungle Book and he does stuff like that, But
Scarlett Johansson is Kaa. Idris Elba is Shere Khan.
Oh, cool.
Chris Walken is King Louie. Bill Murray is Baloo. Yeah, it's. Yep. I'm gonna go see it. This is stupid enough. It's gonna be incredible.
I'm gonna see it at the AMC with the bar because I want the full effect. You know, I want King Louie yelling at me in very stilted, awkward, and kind of offset delivery.
I want to be like you. Ooh. Talk like you.
Then a Fatboy Slim video breaks out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Jungle Book's a definite.
2016's made just by virtue of that alone. It's good.
And also coming up, Jay, you're gonna love this. Ratchet and Clank the movie.
Yes, take my money, please. Now, Ratchet.
Twist your arm.
Ratchet and Clank is my absolute favorite series of games on the PlayStation.
Like mascot style games.
Yeah, like mascot style games.
Because you're not saying Suikoden.
No.
Right.
That's PlayStation 1. I should clarify PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2.
Because the Suikoden games on PlayStation 2 are
PlayStation
shit.
Deuce.
But yeah, the Ratchet and Clank series is that's my Mario. Like I fucking love those games, and the fact that someone somewhere had the foresight to turn this into a goddamn film. Great, bring it on. I love it.
I think. Go ahead.
You know, there's a Sly Cooper film in the work too, right?
I do. I'm wondering if half of this didn't come from the idea that Sony has this like terribly excellent animation resource at its disposal, but has no like original IP or how should we say like family friendly IP, other than the mascots that they already own the rights to for the video game consoles, and maybe. I don't know. I mean, legality is half of doing production or movie production, so why not use it? Why not use what you already have?
We're looking at an early 2017 release for Sly, by the way.
Early 2017? Mm-hmm. I can wait that long. For one thing, I still have to play Sly 4, so I'm not assuming that the movie is going to be contiguous with the video game timeline, but I got to get all that down, You don't move past the appetizer into the main course right away.
No, they're from what I'm reading, it's probably going to be a stylized retelling of the first game of Thievius Raccoonus. So,
well, I played the shit out of that, so I guess I can see it. Sure, why not? Except for the goddamn time attack challenges. No, we're not going to be messing with that.
All right, Bob, so what else we got? We're on to May now?
Yeah, we're on to May. And what side are you guys taking? Captain America Civil War.
Cap. Tony's a dick. I'm going with Cap.
You see, I'm Team Iron Man.
I am Team Slapstick, but I don't know. Probably Cap. Team Cap. Whatever.
Team Cap. I mean, and this isn't even an ideological thing. This is Team Cap has the more fun people on it. Like I'd rather hang out with Hawkeye and Ant-Man and Falcon than I would with fucking Vision. And I mean, Tony's fun, but Tony's an egomaniac.
Yeah.
And if Tony's not having fun, ain't no one having fun. So
that is very true. Well, if Tony's not having fun, he's passed out.
That's a good point.
More or less. And then you got to get the can opener, and things get embarrassing from there on out. Probably Cap. I never read the Civil War storylines. All I know is the culmination of it, which may or may not. That's kind of like one of the big teasing points for this movie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not letting it out. Obviously, they're not letting it out what happens, but if you haven't read the comic, I'm not going to ruin it for you.
I'm Team Cap more or less off of principle, basically. I've known his character for, I guess, a lot longer than Iron Man, and honestly, I can't even get into Iron Man in the comics still. No matter like how appealing the movies might make that mythos look, it's the Iron Man character kind of sits in that place in the Marvel universe where dudes are super and they hang out with other super people and everyone's just being fucking super and there's so much superhuman drama. These people have these amazing abilities and yet so many fucking problems, and it's all used as kind of like a footnote to what's basically the point of every single book, pummeling some dude at the end. And even like I think Extremis kind of went around that, which was pretty cool. That was a good series. So I guess I should correct myself. But for the most part,
what sold it for me was the trailer. The first trailer that came out, where you see Bucky and Cap just beating the snot out of Iron Man.
Oh, and he's kind of like just taking it.
He's trying to fight back, but obviously he's being overwhelmed, but he's got the suit on, so he could still put up a fight.
Yeah, it's got good cinematography, and it's going to be one of those movies.
Yeah.
Directed by the Russos.
The Russos.
My big issue with every trailer that I've seen for it so far, and this is, I mean, I've been saying this for a while now, so this isn't just like all of a sudden with this one. I really wish the Marvel Cinematic Universe would remember that they're the fun universe. I really think they're kind of taking themselves a little too seriously on the trailers. Like, Ant-Man was funny. Ant-Man's trailers were really funny, but the Age of Ultron trailers, I never felt excited to go see it, and I didn't walk out happy about it either, because I didn't terribly enjoy it as much as I did every other Marvel film. Are
we still in phase 2 technically with Civil War?
I think Civil War kicks off phase 3. I think Ant-Man killed phase 2.
Yeah.
Book ended on Ant-Man. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't feel fun to me. I'm going to see it. I know it's going to be great, and I know it's going to be a blast, but it's so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
It does. There's a lot of lifting, it seems like, in these. But weren't a lot of comparisons being made between phase 2 of the Marvel Universe and the climax of conflict that's typically, like Empire Strikes Back was a middle movie, so it's like, oh, all this shit happens right now.
Sure.
And then the third phase, the Return to the Jedi. Oh shit! This is so happy we got Muppets. There are Muppets up in. There's tree houses.
Muppets in this, we got problems.
There's tree houses and everyone's singing and shit. So the third one, I'd say the third one's the one you got to be watched out for, and everything's just going to be jocular and happy. Although that's kind of funny because phase 2, one of the standouts was Guardians, right?
Yep.
Which was about as jaunty as it gets. Oh, wait, no, what? That ended phase 1 or 2? No, that was August of 2014. That's more or less started phase 2. Okay, I see. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Okay, that's it for Civil War then. In the interest of time, because I'm pretty sure we could talk about movies all night, let's pick up mid-May towards the end of summer on the next episode, if that's cool with you guys.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry,
the next one we could go on for hours.
Yeah,
the next movie.
And there's a hazard in getting me to talk about movies. Sorry, I recognize that.
All right, just for a bit of an amuse-bouche for the next episode, what is the next movie that you want to bring up?
X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay, yeah, we'll save that one. And also, just in the interest of full disclosure, I've got a 5 a.m. call tomorrow, so it is now 11:50, so we're going to have to hold the TV themes until next time as well. But trust me, we can talk for hours on that one. Because Corey and I have both seen Chuck, and fucking Terriers has incredible music in it too.
Oh, that's another one. Good. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
But now we're going to pop on to what is supposedly the meat of the show, but I think the discussion has been more interesting. But the trivia part is fun as well, and this is, of course, the Nerd or Not section.
Yeah. You know what? We have a theme song, or a jingle, I should say.
Oh,
what?
Yeah. Well, here, let me play it.
Okay.
Da, 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 da.
And now it is time for Nerd or Not, idiot.
So, techie, geek, otaku, trekkie, gamer are words normally associated with the word nerd. We all have passions. Some of us play fantasy football, study the stat sheets and the waiver wires. How is this any different from being a dungeon master? Some of us could name the first baseman of the '86 Red Sox, or they could name all the bounty hunters shown in Empire Strikes Back.
I can do both of those for the record.
So whether you're into movies, cooking, TV shows, sports, video games, makeup, the latest tech, or whoever is playing the doctor this week, if you have a real passion for it, you could proudly say you are a nerd. Okay, Jay, go through your categories, since you won our first episode, and it's all three of us again. Okay. Corey, you say your categories, and then I'll say my categories.
All right.
Okay.
My categories are the Marvel Cinematic Universe, despite my bitching about it in the previous segment. The Flash.
When you love something, you care twice as much.
That's true. That's true. And Nintendo.
Okay.
It's a cereal. Wow. That Pavlovian programming, sorry.
The cereal system.
Okay. That's me next, or Bad?
Yeah, go for it, Corey.
It's me, okay. Never got around to the X-Files questions from last episode. And seeing as how it's ending this week, figured it would still be relevant. We got TV dicks. That is to say, detectives from TV.
Aww. You enjoyed saying that too much.
Dicks. No, I didn't. What gives you that feeling? You assume too much. You're reading too much into it. You're obsessed with phalluses and detectives.
Penis.
Damn it. It was like just about to leave my mouth, and then I hear it. What's your third category, Corey?
I'm sorry to everyone. Board games, children's board games to be precise. Ooh. So none of the heavy hitting like Ludo Pact, chipboard stuff that all of us are more familiar with.
Okay, so like Catan Jr. then.
We're going back. Think now. None of these are in the questions, but think Mall Madness. Think Bed Bugs.
Okay.
Don't Wake Daddy.
I like it. Okay, cool.
High class shit.
All right. My three categories are stand-up comics, college football postseason, and Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I'm going to ace the football one. I got a lockdown. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Today?
That's a song about baseball, Corey.
What?
That's a song about baseball.
Base? Oh, you
How low
guys.
can you go?
You guys are just fucking with me, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Jay, since you won the last time the three of us played,
sure.
Jay, you will pick either one of Corey's nerd or not, or one of my nerd or not. And just as a reminder, nerd questions are eligible to be stolen by the third player. Not nerd questions are not eligible.
Okay, well, I'm going to get the painful one out of the way first and go college football playoffs nerd.
Nerd. Okay. Name the last 6 national champions.
I'm going to go get a drink. Be right back.
Your Florida State Seminoles, the Alabama Crimson Tide, Ohio State Buckeyes, I think. Mm-hmm. Shit, it's going to be Fudge Bunnies.
Now, I will tell you that one of these teams is a multiple champion over the last 6 squads.
Well, I'm pretty sure Alabama's won it a few times because Nick Saban's a douche and he's always on TV. So I gotta finish my answer there. Alabama multiple times, Florida State, and Ohio State.
I will tell you there are 2 more.
Son of a bee sting. It's not Oregon. Because nope. Oregon can't win in the playoffs. It's not anyone from the Pac-12.
Nope.
It's no one else from the SEC because the SEC East is terrible. Big Ten? No. Michigan State hasn't won. Michigan hasn't won.
And God help you if they do win. You live so close to their campus.
I am far enough away from both that I will be safe.
Yeah, but you're close enough to smell it.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's no one from the Big East because they don't exist anymore, I don't think.
Did you say Big East?
The Big East.
Big East. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the Merida Bread Factory, which doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
Sadly, yeah.
I got nothing. I cannot think of who the last 2 are.
Corey, should I give him a hint?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'll just... Well, yeah, I mean, if you want him to get the point, sure.
Wait, is this where you'd expect me to be making the steal?
If you want to try.
Okay, what were the people that he's mentioned so far?
He mentioned Ohio State, Florida State, Alabama.
3, and you would need 3 more?
Because Alabama's won it multiple times over the last 6.
Okay.
You would need 1 more.
One more.
Oh.
One more.
One more.
Auburn.
Nope.
No, Auburn didn't win.
All right, I'm going to try to make the steal then. But here's the thing. I shouldn't be able to get this. So, if I get it, there's got to be something attached to it. I think we're gonna have to go with a capital D dare on this shit. If I get this, does that contract sound worth signing to you, Jay?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Repeat.
As long as it doesn't involve public nudity or anything that can get me arrested.
I'm not gonna get you guys arrested. Not even pantsed, really. It's just it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you know you're in trouble. The three were who is it? Ohio,
Ohio State, Alabama,
FSU, and
Florida
Alabama. So three of them are from down here. Duke?
No.
Oh,
no. God. Damn. Damn. Way to build up.
They probably won a national title in basketball recently, but obviously this is football. The last six national champions were Alabama, Ohio State, Florida State, Alabama, Florida.
Oh, fuck me.
Fuck
really?
UF, really?
That was my second choice.
Was that the year that piece of shit Tebow won?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, fuck that guy. All right, who's going next?
Shamed and sullied.
Corey's going to go next.
I'm going to go next. Okay. So I'm going to pick a category. And I'm going to pick... let's see. Let's start off light. Let's go not MCU.
Okay. What role did Tom Hiddleston audition for before being cast as Loki?
Before Loki. This is one of those things you come across in a sidebar for Entertainment Weekly. You should get this. Let's go with... Let's say he auditioned for Tony Stark.
No, he auditioned for Thor.
Oh.
Get the...
Huh?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Very not revisionist, but flexibly adapted version of Thor, I suppose.
I suppose so.
Yeah. All right. Damn. Tom?
Okay. Bob, your turn.
Pick him better. Well, Loki, no. Loki was awesome, so it all worked out.
Corey, I'm going to go with not nerd X-Files. Let's get into this.
Not nerd X-Files. I really like this question, actually. I was so waiting to read this one to you last week, or last time. Not nerd X-Files. Name one of two famous authors, I'll say famous, that have written an episode of the X-Files.
I'm just going to take a total shot in the dark and say Neil Gaiman.
No, not Neil Gaiman. I'm going to give you one more shot because I'm going to reiterate. At least one of them is very famous. Famous for the 90s.
That honestly doesn't really help me, so I'm going to guess Stephen King wrote an episode.
Stephen King did, yes. The other one was William Gibson. I guess he's known as the father of cyberpunk and steampunk, and his two episodes were the worst. One of the worst episodes there. Anyway, yeah, moving along. There you go. You got one. He's got a point. Yeah. So Stephen King
Bob.
got you the point. All right.
All right. So is it my turn now?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go Deep Space Nine. Not.
Deep Space Nine, not. Okay. Name one of three actors who regularly appeared on both Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Michael motherfucking Dorn.
Yes. Can you name the other two?
Oh, can I name the other two? Oh, shit.
You got the point. I'm just wondering if you can get the other two.
Appeared regularly? Or just appeared?
Multiple episodes.
Okay, did John Delancey appear as Q on Deep Space Nine?
For a single episode, and he got punched in the face by Cisco. That's why Cisco fucking rules.
Cisco's the best, dude. I'm not Picard.
Sorry, Team Q. Fuck Cisco.
Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek, so shit. Jonathan Frakes? I'm assuming Riker showed up. Riker got tail everywhere.
That's funny. Riker did show up as his doppelganger.
William Riker.
Yep. And then he shows up with a beard as Commander Riker. He steals a ship and flies off, and as he's flying away, he takes off his sideburns but keeps the goatee. What?
Huh? So that dude's
you
facial
look
hair
exactly like the dude.
His facial hair is just like a follicular Lego set.
He was portraying a bearded Commander Riker when William
Commander
Riker
already had a beard and
only has a goatee.
Okay,
That's the difference between the two.
I misread you. He basically was just he was a Dagwood sandwich of beards.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So who am I missing? I'm missing at least one person.
Can I guess? Can I?
Well, he already got the point. You can still guess.
I'm not going to steal. I just want to guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
The eyebrowless one, Whoopi Goldberg.
No,
what? No, I thought she tended bar once or twice. No,
not on DS9.
No, DS9. That was Quark's bar. You don't fuck with Quark.
Oh, it was. Oh, that's right.
The other two were Colm Meaney as Miles O'Brien.
Oh shit, that's right.
And his wife, Rosalind Chow, who played Keiko O'Brien.
That's right. Oh, goddamn. Good job. That's a great question.
Damn you, Bob.
Sorry.
Question wasn't even mine. What am I pissed off about?
Yeah, because didn't it was Worf ended up marrying one of the Daxes, right?
Yes, for like a hot minute, and then they instantly killed her.
That's right. Okay.
That's when Frigid was still a big thing.
Spoilers, I guess.
Oh. Oops. Oopsie. Dang. By the way, yeah, Deep Space Nine, great, but still, Team Q. Team Q.
Mr. Foster.
Mr. Foster. Oh, that's me. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. Reminder of the categories.
Marvel Cinematic. Only
Okay.
the Nerd is left. The Flash and Nintendo for me.
Okay. And for Bob, it is.
I still have both stand-up comedians.
Okay, nerd stand-up comedians.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Stand-up comedians. Which of these comics did not serve in the military? Mel Brooks, George Carlin, Steve Martin, Carl Reiner.
Fuck, I hate your question-making abilities. These are so good.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
25% chance.
Okay, you know, I'm automatically wanting to say George Carlin, but I know you're going to throw a blind at me. I don't remember him being in the military, though. Like, out of all the stuff that I've read on the guy, I'm going to go with George Carlin, then.
After what happened last time with the Arthur Conan Doyle, I made sure to look up these results.
Okay,
So,
all right.
George Carlin was in the United States Air Force and was trained as a radar detection and was court-martialed 3 times.
Ah, shit. I thought that was somebody else. I thought that was like...
Now, since this is a nerd question, Jay, you have an option to steal if you want.
Yep.
I would like to try to steal. I'm so fucking proud that George Carlin was court-martialed 3 times. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And to get court-martialed in the Air Force, hardcore.
Yeah. Especially as a radar technician.
Like, are you just like drawing fake smudges on the radar or something? Like,
He was drawing dicks on the radar.
He did a Maverick flyby, but with pressed hams.
Oh shit. So I know it wasn't. I'm pretty sure Mel Brooks was in the military. I know Carlin was. So my choices were, who are the other two?
Steve Martin or Carl Reiner.
I'm going Steve Martin. I think Steve Martin was far too fucking burnt out to be in the military in the 70s.
And you have the steal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve
nice.
Martin sold maps while working for Disneyland and then later worked at a magic shop as an apprentice.
Shit, that's right.
That is right. Oh, god damn it.
And just in case if you're still interested, Mel Brooks was in the United States Army as a corporal in the 1104 Engineer Combat Battalion, 78th Infantry Division, defusing landmines.
I remember that bit.
Oh, Jesus, really?
And Carl Reiner served in the United States Army where he was trained as a radio operator.
Now, here's the thing. I was getting George Carlin, not confused with any of the other answers, but with Lenny Bruce. And as it turns out, Bruce, I don't think did anything. Shit. I thought he was in the Air Force, though. So, good steal. Good steal and good question. Shit.
Really good question.
Hate you, Bob.
All right, Bob, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb here and say not nerd, Flash, Jay.
Okay. Name any of the 3 Name any 3 of the characters in the DC universe that have operated under the alias of The Flash.
Okay, there's Barry Allen.
Correct.
There is, what was his name? Wally? 'Cause I know Impulse, he later became The Flash.
I'll accept that as one of them as well. Yes.
Okay. And the who was the Golden Age Flash? Who was that?
I will say this: Wally was not Impulse.
Oh, he was not.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask: are we like carrying up names? Like we don't have to have the real person's alter ego if we know his superhero name from a previous career?
If you can follow the entomology up of who the character is and step by step, that's fine.
And it's all good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Goodness.
For the folks playing at home.
However, in the case of the Golden Age Flash, you will need to know his name because that's all he ever did.
Yeah.
Yep. That and make really bitchin' hats.
Is he the one that started the thing with the time-traveling treadmill?
No, that was Barry, actually. It was that was wacky 60s science. So
hey, the fact I know that much is I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. I'm drawing a blank. I can't do it.
Okay. I would have accepted as well as Barry Allen and Wally West, Bart Allen, John Fox,
John fucking Fox. That's right.
Jay Garrick, who is the Golden Age Flash. And one that not many people remember, Jesse Quick, operated as the Flash for about 3 issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I like John. John Fox was like the war doctor of the Flash universe.
Yeah, John Fox is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Right. So that was a not. Ineligible for steal. Okay.
Correct. I'm going to go with children's board games, not.
Not nerd. Oh. Okay. Children's board games, not nerd. All right. This is going to sound like a nerd question, but it really isn't. If you kind of like mull it over a little bit. There's a British television children's show called Motormouth that had I would say a Double Dare style game show segment that was based on what board game? There's a life-size game board that you would have to go through as like a course.
I'm going to guess Mousetrap.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Some enterprising individual out there was like, dude, we should make this person-sized and then play on it.
let's make children run the Mousetrap course.
But okay there, Monty Feldman.
Now, Nigel, do you mean when you make them run the Mousetrap course, do we cover them in cheese and throw mice at them?
I mean, we did slime over here. It wouldn't be out of the question, really.
Very true.
Yeah, I know. I really would have wanted to see that. But you got it. Mousetrap had a life-size counterpart, and it was televised.
Wow. Awesome.
You know what? I think I've seen footage of that. But with that, Jay is our first 2-time winner with 3 points.
Oh.
Son of a B. Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for the Nerd or Not segment. We are now going to wrap things up. Bob, what you playing? What you suggesting? What you throwing out?
What am I recommending?
That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. I had just recently got the extended cut of The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies.
Sure.
And I am such a big, huge buff that I still buy DVDs and Blu-rays for the special features. And there's probably 6 hours on each of these movies of all kinds of interesting stuff. If you are interested in the behind-the-scenes making of anything from a low-budget movie to a high-budget movie, you've got to watch some of these extended cut behind-the-scenes stuff. It's goes very deep involved. Like one example is where they wanted to shoot a scene where there's both quote-unquote humans and dwarves, but obviously the actors were all the same size. What they did was they put the main set with a robotic jib camera, and they had a miniaturized set covered in green where the dwarves were standing with a what they called the slave unit, was another robotic jib camera that would mirror the movements of the first one. So the humans on one set and the dwarves on the other set were acting, even though there's obviously they're just acting off each other, and the camera is moving in unison to get the same exact shot as it's going in and out of the crowds.
That shit is wild.
Cool. Yeah, and there's actually OSHA regulation saying you couldn't be within a certain amount of feet of what they called the slave unit, because if it lost connection, and they showed this at one point where it lost connection and it just slammed to the ground with a lot of force.
Must destroy union workers. Must destroy and get it all on video.
Kiwi union workers, but still union.
The robot revolution will be televised.
Yeah. So any of the extended cuts of The Hobbit, that's what I'm recommending.
That's awesome.
It's astounding that they had even more footage from that movie with which to commit to special features.
So I am going with a free-to-play mobile game. And Bob, you already know about it because I totally suggested it to you. It's Star Trek Timelines. It is.
Is this the one we talked about last time?
That's what that was one of mine last time. But I totally want to hear Jay's.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
As someone who is not a gigantic Trek fan, I'm definitely more on the Star Wars side of the fight, I guess, because nerds have to fight. It struck me as something where I was like, all right, I'll pick this up. I'll give it a shot. Why not? It's got Picard on the icon, and I like Patrick Stewart, so what the hell? It's really fun. It's really basic. It's super simple. I mean, you get to assign certain characters on away teams, like having them go down and essentially gigantic air quotes, Bob, beam down. Yeah, for a mission
based on their
skills. Yeah, they have different skill sets. Like Riker's good at he's good at leadership, security, and slaying. And then other characters are like Worf is really good at security. That's his number one thing. Picard's a diplomat, and then each of them also have keywords, which increases their stats in certain events and in certain situations. It's really neat. It's a lot of fun to play. It's free. Like, it's super easy to make in-game currency and advance and not have to worry about it. Like, you don't have to spend any fucking money on the dilithium crystals to be able to buy higher levels in the game. It's a very
microtransactions.
The microtransactions are completely optional, and it's not like other games where it's microtransactions are optional, but if you want to do anything,
what do they do in this? If you don't mind me asking,
you can use them to get better stuff, but you're not competing against people.
So there's no. That's right.
There's no need. It's
you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, go at your own pace. You can form fleets. I mean, that might come into play when fleets become a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's a really logically paced game. It's fun. It's quirky. Like there's some goofy ass shit that goes on. Like you can make Worf beat the shit out of his kid.
Yeah, that's the first mission.
Yeah,
that's right. That's the Klingon way. We'll learn them early.
Exactly. And it's got everything from. I mean, the only thing it doesn't include really is
have some blood wine, boy.
Is the rebooted film franchise. Like you don't get Chris Pine as Kirk, but you get fucking what's his name? Quantum Leap as Archer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You get mirror universe versions of characters. You get the original series films. Like I've got Spock in his ninja headband and bathrobe on my squad
from Star Trek 4.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's super simple. It's super easy, and it's a ton of fun. And it's full of replayability.
I leveled up to the point where I'm at level 20-something, and just pure luck, I collected enough pieces where I can trade up my ship to the ISS Enterprise, and holy God, nobody lasts more than 10 seconds against me.
I'm running a McKee cruiser.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's great. It's so simple and so stupid. Like, it shouldn't be fun. But because every door in the Star Trek universe is open for you to get these characters, it's awesome. It's great.
I'm sitting here still waiting on my Pirates of the Caribbean game, which is never going to happen. It kind of did for a little bit when 4 came out, but Disney didn't commit to it at all. It was when Facebook games, Farmville, etc., was still big, and a lot of it was developing an island and not shit that pirates do. So it wasn't very engaging.
All right, Corey, what is your suggestion?
Funnily enough, it's kind of related to Star Trek a little bit. And I know you've heard me mention this before, but I started reading the first of the Nicholas Meyer Sherlock Holmes stories.
Oh, cool.
Nicholas Meyer was, I guess, most well known for having written and directed the second Star Trek movie, and I think the other even numbers too. But it's The Wrath of Khan that you put at the top of your resume. It's kind of hard recommending Sherlock Holmes to people because you always say, okay, look, there's a BBC show, And that's easy to get into because it's got a lot of like that modern wit and such, and people have a frame of reference. And you can't really get them into any of the books outside of that, though. Normally, you can't. But I would say with this one is like, I think this is why this book became so well known. It's pretty damn witty. Like stories in the Conan go up and down as far as dryness and stuff goes, but there's a sense of humor to them. It's just that it's a little bit hard to dig through and find. And this is like layered in it. That and the structure's really weird too, because even though it's Watson, he's actually the story develops in that Moriarty was there's some doubts cast as to Holmes' sanity when he was fighting Moriarty at the waterfall, and then Holmes comes back, but it turns out Moriarty's still alive and is not a bad guy. And then Watson has to find Sigmund Freud, and it's just as trippy as it sounds, but it's also really friggin' funny and built upon like, you know, one of the stories that does the best with all of that layers and layers of Holmes lore, you know, built not by just Conan Doyle, but by other authors that have contributed to the mythos over time. So I would say that like if anybody wanted to start getting into the Holmes books, start with the Myers stuff, and the 7% Solution is the title. Go and find it.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I know I kind of did that with like an Epic Mickey earlier, and I kind of confused the recommendations with what you're doing versus what you're actually recommending. So anything that I'm doing, I recommend it all because it's awesome and I have good taste in everything. So do it.
Well, that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Thank you for joining us on episode 3 of Nerd or Not. We will be back in probably a couple weeks to get you another fun episode in the madcap adventures of Corey, Bob, and Jay. Guys, thank you so much for being on tonight. Did a great
Hey, no big deal.
Glad I could help.
Yep.
We will talk at you guys soon.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.